Nearly 8 years ago, the Indian government launched an ambitious $15 billion plan to build a high-speed rail line linking Mumbai and Ahmedabad. Originally, the project was supposed to be finished by 2024. To push the project forward, India borrowed $14.6 billion from Japanese lenders. But for various reasons, construction didn't go as planned, and by 2024, the railway was still far from complete. The Indian government had no choice but to announce a delay. With every delay, India's debt burden to Japan only grows heavier. That initial $14.6 billion loan has now ballooned to around $18 billion. This enormous financial strain has left the project's future uncertain. Today, it's beginning to look like India's dream of a high-speed rail may end in failure. But what's even more surprising is that India is now pointing fingers at China demanding accountability. How did this situation unfold? Why has the project been delayed over and over again? If you enjoy our content, remember to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss our latest updates. Now, let's dive into today's story. Its per capita GDP was more than 5 times higher than the national average. On top of that, Mumbai's industries are strong, with manufacturing accounting for a quarter of India's output and its cotton textile industry alone providing 1/3 of the country's total production capacity. Northwest of Mumbai lies Ahmedabad, the largest city in Gujarat, often referred to as the state's industrial town. Located in a prime cotton-growing region, Ahmedabad has long been a powerhouse of the textile industry. The Sabarmati River divides the city in two. On the west side is a neatly designed modern area, while the east remains the older commercial district. This contrast has fueled both industry and trade. Moreover, Ahmedabad serves as Gujarat's transport hub, linking inland regions to coastal ports and ensuring raw materials come in while finished goods flow out with impressive efficiency. For decades, Mumbai and Ahmedabad relied on conventional trains for trade and travel. But as demand grew, the system became outdated. Many railway lines aged, and the network could no longer meet the needs of both cities. To solve this, India planned a new high-speed rail, one that could boost manufacturing, tourism, and economic growth. The project blueprint outlined a 500-kilometer route, similar to the distance between Los Angeles and San Francisco. Designed to operate at 350 kilometers per hour, the train would cut travel time from 8 hours down to just 2. Most of the line would be elevated, but one section required a 21-kilometer tunnel, including a 7-kilometer stretch under the sea. Such an undertaking demanded advanced technology and massive tunnel-boring machines. After rounds of discussion, India opted to purchase equipment from Germany, trusting its proven engineering expertise. So, in June 2022, Indian officials actually traveled all the way to Herrenknecht in Germany to negotiate. After carefully reviewing India's needs, the German team strongly recommended the horseshoe shield machine. Unlike standard excavators, shield machines use full-face cutting technology, which, integrates excavation, lining installation, and slag removal into one continuous system. This closed design really helps prevent ground settlement and ensures stability, even in pretty complex geological conditions. By contrast, excavators depend on hydraulic arms and buckets, which makes progress slower and, honestly, less precise. Shield machines are simply indispensable for subway tunnels and underground projects, where you need to keep surface disruption to a minimum. With mechanized excavation speeds up to 8 times faster than traditional methods, plus advanced modules like photoelectric guidance and water treatment systems, shield machines are, honestly, the gold standard. Herrenknecht's design even boasted tunneling speeds of 6 meters per hour, making it, one of the best in the world. Impressed, India ordered 3 of these shield machines for over $330 million. What India didn't realize, however, was that although the machines were German-designed, they were manufactured in Guangzhou, China. and in October 2024, Chinese customs seized them before export, leaving India, well, stuck. Why did China block the shipment? The backstory goes back to 2020. That year, India had lined up several huge infrastructure projects, including Mumbai's coastal highway tunnel and Bangalore's metro expansion. All of them depended on shield machines. India placed an order for 18 slurry-balanced shield machines worth $1.9 billion. Despite political tensions, China approved the deal, even agreeing to provide technical support. But after receiving the first delivery, India began refusing visas for Chinese engineers, preventing them from entering to assemble the machine. At the same time, India delayed the final payment. Eventually, the whole deal stalled. After India's default, China announced a ban on further shield machine exports. Even the German-built machines made in Guangzhou were caught in the freeze. So why did India refuse to pay? On paper, the issue was financial. In 2022, India's fiscal deficit hit 6.9% of GDP, and debt levels soared to 75.4%. Foreign reserves shrank by $83 billion, leaving barely enough to cover 3 months of imports. But some experts argue the real reason was strategic. India wanted time to study the Chinese machines and build its own industry. Unfortunately, Indian engineers couldn't replicate the technology. Shield machines arrive in parts and require skilled assembly, something only the Chinese technicians could handle. Despite attempts, India's teams failed to reconstruct the machine, leaving projects stalled. As a result, the German-made shield machines meant for the Mumbai-Ahmedabad high-speed rail have sat in Chinese ports for over 8 months. Without them, critical tunneling work, including the underground station in Mumbai, remains incomplete. The project, once expected in 2024, now faces delays until at least 2030. Under growing pressure, the Modi government shifted the blame outward. Indian officials accused China of deliberately obstructing progress, linking the issue to the 2020 border clash in Galwan. Meanwhile, Indian media portrayed China's seizure as an intentional act to slow India's rise. At the same time, India also expressed frustration with Germany's Herren Knecht, complaining that its machines were too dependent on Chinese manufacturing. So, what do you think? Should China release the seized tunnel-boring machines, or was it right to hold them back after India's earlier default? Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to catch our future videos. We'll keep bringing you more in-depth stories and updates.